Alright, I've recently found that this camcorder just works so much better for any kind of thing. It's very lightweight compared to the 60D over here, and just in general, I much prefer something like this. It's just, sorry, I'm going like this because it's very cold in this room, and I also have like carpal tunnel going on, so. But it's very nice because it's lightweight, it's good, and you can see all the plushies in the background that I've gotten from my girlfriend over the years. Ah, God, my brain's running amok. Anyway, let's talk about something that I really was kind of inspired by. So I subscribe to this other photography YouTuber. His channel is Rio Murata. He's a photographer based in Tokyo, and it's really funny because I saw his video recently about the last like 5 years or something. It's basically like his history with his Fuji GW690, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I should do one of these. But then I remembered, oh, I've only done film since like September of 2023, and 2025 had almost no film in it whatsoever. I just haven't been able to afford that recently, and with other price hikes being announced year after year, it's looking grim. So, yeah, but I would kind of think I've been inspired by his video, and I'm like, okay, well, if I had to pick my like top 10 best photographs, in my opinion, that I've taken on film, what would they be? And it's kind of weird because narrowing down like a top 10 isn't, well, it's subjective, right? So it would be my favorites and what I think is good. And I have it pulled up on my monitor here so I can reference it. All right, so let's just get right into it. This is a photo I took on Ilford 3200, and it was during the daytime, regrettably. But, when you use 3200 in the daylight, you're going to have to use some narrow apertures, let me tell you. And this was probably shot somewhere closer to, maybe f11 to f16, because I definitely used the highest shutter speed I could. And this cat, if you're wondering why he's in the tree, that is because he ran up the tree because he's always overstimulated. He's a local cat that loves to play and loves to be adventurous, but unfortunately, he is orange. So that is all I have to say about that. But it's a nice sharp image. 3200 film works great. And yes, he can get out of that tree. He just decided to sit there like that. Okay, so the next film photo here. This is Amber T800. This is a competitor to Cinestill 800T, but here is the same idea. You got that depressing look with the halation glowing on everything and the tungsten color balance. And I think it fits because reds really pop on a lot of film, and due to the fact that everything's stacked so nicely in the background in this Burger King, and it's just so untouched with that, limited edition haunting flavor drink. I don't really remember what it is. Fanta, maybe? I don't oh yeah, it says Fanta on it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It appealed to me in a certain way. It looks very dark, but not like dark as in like evil. I'd say it just looks kind of empty. I'm a fan of those kinds of photos. Anyway, moving on. This is Costco. This is a photo I will probably never get again, and this is because I went right when Costco opened and just happened to see an empty space and happened to have my camera, which was the EOS 650 with the 50 1.4, and I think this was like at f2 because this is Ultra Max, and I just I think I aimed for the sign up above or something. Yeah, I think I aimed for the Kirkland sign because it had the most contrast, and then I just repositioned it, and honestly, it worked. Everything came out really nice. It's actually very sharp, and the 50 1.4 is such a sleeper lens, especially on film. A lot of these old lenses perform much better on the format. Digital reveals a lot of inconsistent stuff within a lens design, but film, it's good. It's quite good at hiding stuff. And I say inconsistent, I mean just, imperfections. Sorry. I've tried to make this video a few times. But yeah, no, this is my favorite photo of all time. It looks great. It's timeless. Like, timeless in my mind means I can't tell what time it is. I can't tell what year it is. It is just Costco. So that is something I like, not being able to tell anything about it. Okay, so now we go to FP4, another Costco photo. FP4 is a film that I recently tried and developed myself, only to realize, oh no, this film has so much dynamic range that my scanner maxes out, and I kind of have to really do some editing to it. So it's like, oh god. It looks great though. The film grain is incredibly sharp, but it's also got this like older grain style where it's a bit chunkier. It's not as fine, but a lot of that lends itself to being extremely contrasty at times and very just punchy. But also you can see just how much dynamic range it has when it comes to the lighting, because I mean, the lights aren't all completely blown out. I can still see the details. Quite interesting. I like this as a self-portrait, and everybody else is probably wondering what the hell I was doing. But you see a mirror, you have a camera, you gotta do it. Okay, this is the only 120 format photo that I have on this list, and it is Ektar, which, yeah, it's a beach, This is Ektar 100 shot with my sticky shutter Mamiya Super 23 on 6x9. It's got the little boat in the back, way back there. It's got a bunch of people just enjoying their day, and all these beautiful watercolors that are in between. The blue to light blue to some greens. Dude, it was a lovely day. Very nice day. And somehow I got the exposure just okay. I like it a lot. I kind of wish that I had some more clouds to cover the top of the photo, but it also doesn't matter. Most of my photos tend to be snapshots. I don't tend to focus on a particular subject. So yeah, this appears quite nice to me. Okay, so this is Kentmere 400, and I pushed it to 1600. And this photo was taken with a Pentax ME with a Vivitar 135 2.8. I believe this was at f11, f13, or f16. I don't recall which. But it is fairly soft, so I'm going to guess it was probably closer to f16. And what's there to say? My composition was dead center. This guy who is just looking away towards all the trees and mountains, just, doing whatever he was doing. And I decided this is my time to take this photo. It worked out great. I think it's wonderful. Again, this is an example of I can't tell what year this is. I can't tell anything about it. There's nobody on their fucking phones in the photograph. It's perfect. To me. I just don't like when I can easily tell that a photo is taken around this time to this time. It takes me out of the experience a little bit. Okay, we end up with Lomo Purple. Lomography makes a lot of good films, but my favorite still remains probably Purple for when I'm feeling a bit bored. I've always said that, purple is like when you want to shoot black and white film, but you don't want no color, you want something. And then that's where a lot of these come into play. Purple's one of these. I love that it makes trees and leaves glow very nicely. You do lose details in the shadows, but everything has this amazing glow to it. I am a huge fan of purple and will happily use it whenever I have it in my bag. But if you ever just get a chance to bring it to a forest, do it. And fool around with some color filters. I've seen some results of that online and it looks pretty good. But yeah, no, for me, just, purple in general, just having a great snapshot day, you can see what it does. It is gorgeous. Okay, then we end up in our last three photos. Here we have Portra 160. It is something, again, I developed myself with a buddy of mine after work, and we're just, we're just like, okay, sure, developing our own. And I think it came out quite nice, considering that this was just, the Cinestill 2 bath and first time trying it. Somehow didn't fuck it up. Yeah, I like beaches. I like photographing a lot of the water and stuff. There is an old album. It's an old Japanese pop album, like a city pop album, and it's called Adventure. And I don't remember the artist who's on it, but it reminds me of that album cover. And every time I go out to the ocean, I keep trying to get those colors. And funny enough, it's gonna end up being, I'll nail it one day if I'm randomly shooting Velvia with a flash, probably, to look like that. You'll see the album cover if you Google it, like City Pop Adventure, and her album will pop up. Yeah. But I've always been obsessed with the ocean since I was a kid, so I continuously take photos of it whenever I can. Looks cool. Okay, this is Harmon Phoenix. Harmon Phoenix. I pushed this to 400 and then exposed it at 320 instead. And I took this because I was trying to make like a painting look. I was like, oh, let's go for something artsy. And I did. I focused on the moon and through all these leaves on this tree here. And I think it's beautiful. Of course, on Phoenix, like something that far away and that small won't be the most detailed. But I don't think that really matters here. I think what really matters is just the perspective of it. You know, I like it because to me it looks like a painting. It looks like kind of watercolory because it's so, I'm going to say smeary from not being the smoothest film. But, you know, the subject is right there in front of me. It is, yeah, I hesitate to say crystal clear, but it is a subject. And we get to the last thing. This is Ultramax again, and this is a chicken sandwich. This chicken sandwich is one of my favorite photos because it's so simple, yet it's just there. I don't know why I like this photo so much. It is far from a perfect photo, but for some reason I keep coming back to it as, yes, I like this one. Probably just because it's so, you know, it's got black and white and then the subject are in the middle of those. And nothing's happening, no one's eating it. It is just an abandoned chicken sandwich that I later went back for after I took the bite, took the photo, and then probably scarfed it down in the next minute. But I don't know. I like this a lot. I actually ended up printing this at work, and let me tell you, Ultramax prints very nicely onto 16 by 20. Definitely could print a bit bigger. Everyone is very afraid of how film looks when blown up because of the grain, but when you print, grain just kind of becomes a texture within the photo, much like digital noise on a digital camera. If you print something high ISO, like 8000 ISO, and it looks terrible on your screen, try printing it. You will be shocked at how good it looks on paper. But yeah, so these photos here are my top photos that I have taken on film since late 2023, since I've started using film. Of course, I'm sure there will be updates in the future, but I just wanted to show my work.